Hello once again everybody, and welcome back to my Character Crusade Unbound Season 2 Let's Play featuring Alusell, the Alteration Swordsman. And with him as always is Porter, Eric, the Slayer. Alright, so let's recap what we did last episode. Last episode was pretty simple. We were on our way to Forelhost to pick up Shalidor's writings that Urag tasked us with retrieving for him. There's I got a little bit more to say about that, but on the way we decided to stop at Gyreman's Hall to pick up the last fragment of the Galder amulet and defeat the last of Archmage Galder's undead sons. Those evil bastards. Yeah, on the way here, I actually stopped at Riften. I sold off all the loot that we got from Gyreman's Hall. I kept the black bow, just because I think that Alusell would like to hang on to that to study the situation a little more, see what information that he could possibly gain about the whole Galder saga by studying the Sun's weapons that they used against him. So we held on to that, but there was plenty of other loot to sell. We had enough money to train one level in smithing with the smith in Riften, Balamond. I also read all the skill books that we got from Urag as a reward for retrieving the books from Felglow Keep. And doing all that, we got enough skill increases for a level up, which I think we can take care of pretty much right away here. But I also stopped at Wylandria, the court mage in Riften at Mistvale Keep, and I was able to also afford to buy Spell Twine. And if you're not familiar with Spell Twine, it is a spell that comes with an Scion's Apocalypse spell package. And it binds certain special effects to specified spells. So when you cast them, whatever that special effect was that you assigned to that certain spell that you would cast later gets applied to you for a certain amount of time. So what I did was I attached the blood special effect, which pretty much just gives you 15% more weapon damage every time I cast Ebony Flesh. And Ebony Flesh, as we know, is also hooked up to Okado's Recital. So every time we enter combat, that pops Ebony Flesh for us, which shoots our armor rating up to 300. We have a perk that also makes us ethereal for 10 seconds, or until we do an offensive action. And now with Spell Twine, I also get a 15% boost to my weapon damage as well. So I think that all fits really well with the whole Alteration Swordsman theme here. Let's see, what else? I did consider binding something to Candlelight, but I just couldn't really think of much that made sense, and we'd only be able to use it in dungeons when we actually need to use Candlelight. I don't tend to just cast that everywhere unless I leave it equipped in my left hand or something and try to bash or block. What else did I do here? Okay, yeah, Steadfast Ward, I actually took the rock special effect, or the stone special effect, I think. Going back to the Ebony Flesh weapon damage thing, I kind of thought it was like a cool concept that Alusell figured out how not just to ebonize his flesh to be more resistant to damage, but also to expand the effect to his muscles, which tightened them up and made him stronger to deliver more damage with his melee weapons. So I thought that was kind of a cool little roleplay way of explaining the bonus weapon damage when he's got Ebony Flesh active. So I also hooked up a Spell Twine effect to Steadfast Ward, and I believe that was the Stone or the Rock effect, which is basically reduced. You take reduced weapon damage while it's active. I thought that was a nice little effect to have while you have a ward active, just to kind of reduce physical damage as well. Because while you're casting a Steadfast Ward, you can't block unless you have a shield in your left hand and you're casting the ward with your right hand. But that's not something that Alusell is ever going to do. Well, actually, even then you can't do it, because if you're blocking with a shield and try to cast a Steadfast Ward, you're just going to bash. So I thought that was a nice little bonus. It's something that makes a certain amount of sense to me. The way that I think of Alusell casting wards, it's more of kind of a telekinetic force field that he uses to kind of stop magic from getting to him. So I think it makes a certain amount of sense that force field would at least lessen a weapon speed coming in to strike him. So I think that's another it's either a 10 or 15% reduction of damage coming in from physical weapon attacks. And then also healing. Whenever I cast the healing spell, I automatically regain health instantly, equal to 50% of my Alteration skill. So healing does the 30 points per second as I concentrate on it, but also more immediately I get, let's see, oops, I didn't mean to level up. We'll go back and we'll do the whole meditation thing, just so we can stick with his routine. But let's see, where is Alteration at right now? Alteration is now at level 90. So when I cast a healing spell, immediately I gain 45 health, which I think is very useful in a pinch. Having that instant health boost that kind of kicks in right at the beginning of kind of the slower health gain is can be useful in like a combat situation. If I need to duck around a corner and regain health really quick, that helps. So yeah, let's go ahead and reload the save so that I can save my level up for an actual meditation here. Oh, that bug is annoying. This is a Sky UI bug that whenever you try to open up a save or load menu, it bounces on you like 5 or 6 times depending on how many saves are in your list. But Sky UI is totally worth it, in my opinion. Okay, let's go ahead and reload that, and we will take our level up. This looks like a pretty good spot to do so. Let's go ahead and switch to our simple actions here. Meditate. Okay, so as you know, we have a level up. Until stamina or health becomes more of a problem, I'm going to concentrate on Magicka, because that increases. Now that we have the proper perk on the Vancian Magic path in the Alteration tree, my Magicka pool actually increases the number of Vancian Magic spells that I have available. So I'm going to concentrate on my Magicka pools until health or stamina become a problem. Okay, now I remember last time I leveled up, I couldn't figure out where to put that last perk, so I banked it. So now we have 2. And I've been thinking about this a little bit, and I think since we're looking at dragons pretty soon, and we've been trying to kind of bolster, well, I guess kind of focus our level ups and our progression on fighting dragons, because I think we're doing pretty well against your run-of-the-mill enemies. Um, I think I've found. Okay, well, class of champions. I think this is important for Alusell for this character concept. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this. That doesn't. Well, it does. It does help with dragons. A little bit, but it's just a general survivability thing. And for a character who doesn't wear armor, which can't be tempered, and we don't get to reap the rewards of any of the perks, any of the armor perks to bolster our armor rating, I think Clash of Champions reducing enemies' attack damage in other ways becomes more important. Especially in higher levels. So the other one that I wanted to get is specifically regarding kind of dragons and bigger enemies was this Falling Sword perk. So I'm going to go ahead and take this now. And what this does is a regular forward power attack, not a sprinting forward power attack, but just a regular old hold forward movement and power attack. It causes bleed damage for 20 seconds. Which is nice. It's just bonus damage. I'm not going to say no to bonus damage. But the real boon here against dragons and bigger enemies with super large health pools is this second part of it here. Is when the target falls below 25% health, the attacks against that target are critical strikes that deal 10 times critical damage. Which is going to be amazing for enemies with large health pools where even when they get down to 25% health, they're still dangerous, and they're still going to take some work to take down. So I figure that's a pretty good one. It kind of helps us with our damage output a little bit, which I really think has become kind of one of our bigger weaknesses lately. So yeah, that helps with it. I think the other thing that we were thinking about doing with specifically regarding dragons is we could bolster our restoration and destruction skills a little bit. Restoration, I'm hoping taking restoration mastery kind of makes our wards stronger. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that because I'm not really sure if it does. And if it doesn't, then this isn't really too worth it in my opinion. It helps our healing spells work a little faster, but that hasn't been an issue, and I really don't foresee that being too much of an issue either. It might. But yeah, specifically I would take these just for bolstering our wards if that's even possible, if that's the case. And of course Destruction Mastery gives me stronger destruction spells, which give us a more viable ranged option against dragons when they're flying around and they haven't landed yet. Especially considering our very limited spell level pool at the moment, which is only 16 spells. So yeah, if we end up encountering like a dragon or something at the end of like a dungeon crawl, and our magic spell count is been depleted from that crawl, that's having more powerful destruction magic spells is it's going to be pretty important. Okay, so why are we here outside of Broken Helm Hollow and not outside of Forelhost? Well, that's easy. I saw the area that Shalidor's riding the quest target was at, and I assumed that it was Forelhost because I knew Forelhost was right over here. But it turns out that Shalidor's ridings are actually in Broken Helm Hollow, and not Forelhost, which is like half an inch or like a centimeter or two to the left of where this is at the on the map. So this is probably going to be a pretty quick episode. We're just going to go in here, clear this dungeon, grab Shalidor's writings, and then we'll go do Forelhost in the next episode. And I want to save. I was kind of tempted to just do this one and then Forelhost, all in the same episode, but Forelhost is like a big part of the Ghosts of Yore story. It's our locational target for part 3 of the story. So I want to give that its own episode. And it's also a pretty long dungeon crawl, so adding anything on top of that is just going to make the episode's time swell to something that's just way too big. Alright, so this one's actually pretty small, though, if I remember correctly. It's pretty much just one room and maybe like a hidden little room without any more enemies in it. So let's go ahead and fix our camera zoom here. Alright, Eric, you ready? Let's go kill some bandits.
I don't think I like where this is going.
Oh, toughen up. You're the one who wanted to be an adventurer. Alright. Okay, now we can try out our new perk against this bandit chief here because he's got a large health pool, I think. Is that bleed? Yeah, that bleed damage is working. Always go for the staggers. Yeah, and you see we got that critical strike at the end there, which is the one that finished him off. Against somebody with even a larger health pool than him. That's going to come in handy for sure. Magic sword that's barely worth its encumbrance, but okay. You think Eric would wear this? I kind of like the immersive armors.
Well, hey, that's not something you see every day.
What's that? The wolf shield? Yeah, I suppose so. Is he telling me he would rather use the wolf shield than the body shield? Alright. We'll think about that. Okay, let's loot these guys. I mean, Eric's telling me one thing, but I feel like, I don't know. I like the body shield better. It just seems more effective. More imposing. I guess I could see Eric having some kind of infatuation with the companions, and they use wolf armor and with immersive armors they use the wolf shields as well. Oh, my dog just came running in all excited. I don't know. Were you a good girl outside or something? Yeah? Oh, I know you're a good girl. Go puppy. Well, I know, but I'm recording Skyrim. I'm a little busy. I'll catch up with you in a minute, okay? You be good. We love skill books, but we've either already read it or we're tapped out on our two-handed skill. Okay. Swinging mace trap. Okay. I don't think we have to pick that lock. I think starting now, if we can determine... Oh, here's what we came in here for. I think if we can determine where the trap is coming from, I'm not going to bother picking the lock because we're not getting any more skill increases from it. We've tapped out at level 25 on that. And with the skill uncapper, I've capped that at 25 because I don't want that to have an impact on Alusell and his leveling after a certain point. Alusell doesn't like lockpicking anyway, he would rather just not do it. So if we can determine where the trap is coming from and just avoid it, as opposed to disarming it, I think we're going to do that going forward. Frostbite, I think we already have it, but we can sell it. Leifnar. Okay. Feeling better about killing these bandits now. Because it looks like they were using this poor guy as target practice. And from the looks of things, they really needed the target practice.
This feels right. Having this
Alright,
new
well,
boss is an adventure.
we've done a service to
It's what I was meant to do.
Skyrim and the Rift in Hold here. Or the Rift, I guess, is what the hold is called. So, who do I don't know who Leifnar's family is. I don't think Alusell would be too concerned about it, actually. Alright, Eric. Let's just take a quick look at Shalidor's insights here. I think Alusell would be really curious. Or, I'm sorry, Shalidor's writings. I think Alusell would be really curious as to what was in it. Although, something tells me he's not going to even be able to read it. Yeah, this isn't written in any language that Alusell can comprehend. Even the diagrams are meaningless on their own. But I'll tell you what, if Urag is one of the few people who can actually decipher this thing, I think Alusell will have much more respect for him. Not that he didn't already have respect for him, but I think he would find that pretty cool of the old orc. Okay, well, I think we're done here. And this was a pretty quick episode, I think. I like it. Just come out here and make a save next to the scenic waterfall area here. No level ups. The skill progression has been slowing down a little bit, which is good to see. I mean, it doesn't do me any favors gameplay-wise, but I think we were leveling up pretty quickly there for a while, and I think that's mostly due to the changes I made in the uncapper to kind of emphasize alteration increases. But I think this is a good place to stop it. Next episode, we are going to head to Forelhost. And I really don't have too many plans for Forelhost. I haven't played it in a long time. I have a general memory of what we're going to find there. But as far as like details and stuff that can be tied back to the Ghosts of Yore story, I'm kind of going in blind, so to speak. So yeah, I think we'll cut this episode here. Thanks for watching. Next episode, we will take on Forelhost. Until then, I hope you all have a great day, a great evening, a great week, a great month, depending on how long it's going to take you to watch my next episode. So yeah, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.